Etched into the tree a message reads, "The third is the first of 26. A through Z you'll have to mix." I wonder, what could it possibly mean? Apart from the fact that I'm going to get my pen and write this down.
Well, maybe that's a key to some sort of a code, like the alphabet is shifted slightly and you will have to decode the message based on this information.
No.
Or something.
Not really, it's much simpler. At some point in the castle something asks us for a 5-letter word, and to know it we have to like find things that give us clues about separate letters, and this pretty much just told us that the third letter is A. So it's you were kind of overthinking it.
But still, that would be a cool quest.
Funny part is that when I was playing this first time as a kid, I couldn't get the fucking word right, even now, because even though it's supposed to be like really easy. I don't know what my problem was, but the word that I got, I wanted to use a fancier word, but I forgot the word. The word that I got from the separate letters just didn't work, and I had to look up a solution in some. I think it was I already had internet when I beat this game for the first time. Oops.
Yeah, no matter what clues they give me, I always get the word penis, right?
No, I don't think Kid Me was like that yet. Also, there's apparently a lot of items in that direction. I really want to see them. Ah, these dungeons! I have mixed feelings about the dungeons, since they are just getting smaller from 6 to 8, much smaller. But on the other hand, even though I really like the huge dungeons of this game, they can be a bit of a pain to thoroughly explore. Okay, there's someone in the corner here, but there's not. Wonder what the fuck is up with that. Maybe belt. Oh no, just flying enemies, which I didn't even remember were in this castle, but they are easy. Also, looking at how much I use bows, I should have probably gone and got bow mastery for all my people. Well, no, I couldn't, because they only have like 4 skill in bow, most of them. I could get one guy a bow master, but that would have messed up my carefully planned schedule, because I found that when I travel to the swamp for the chain mastery, if you remember that part of our video, enough days pass after the start of the game, well, not the game but the save game, that I have to rest only 1 day in the inn, and then I can get to this island on a ship. And if I went to Kriegspier for that trainer, that would have totally threw me off and made me sleep like 6 days. And it's just unacceptable. Let's try to sleep somewhere around here, because I'm almost dead. Also, let's... dang it, I forgot. I probably forgot because it wasn't really relevant in this dungeon. Actually, let's... We can afford this. Let's... For the longest time, I wanted to buy the Cure Insanity spell. And I just confirmed today that it is indeed sold in Freehaven sometimes, because the spells are randomized, which spells are sold in the guilds. But I found one, Cure Insanity, and I could really probably use it at some point, especially when I get to the dungeons that have those fucking eyes, because they also inflict insanity, apart from other things.
But you just said that insanity actually buffs you instead of hurting you.
Yes, but only in dungeons where I rely on melee, preferably. But in dungeons like Castle fucking Darkmoor or a fucking Agar's Lab, well, maybe not Agar's Lab, but then again, yeah, Agar's Lab does. I think it has Minotaurs at some point. So yeah, fuck that. I'm going to use my shotgun. And if I want to use my shotgun, I need to not be insane. Also, I once again lost where the hell is the Guild of Mind. Somewhere in this town. It's marked by like 3 wavy lines of a kind of a puke green-yellow color, which is a dick move, really, because like these lines, this indicate the elemental guilds, and the self guilds, which are mind, body and spirit, they have this guy. But no, the fucking mind guild decided no, I'm more of an elemental thing, I'm gonna have the wave lines. And I couldn't find it for the longest time, and even after I did, I forgot where it was. Well, I think it was somewhere in the north part, but I already went through there right now and I haven't found it. It's weird, really weird. Ah, this is it. It's not even puke green, it's black. Why did I think it was puke green? Buy spells, pray you fucking have the, I'm swearing so much, the cure insanity thing. You don't have the freaking cure insanity, you mother. Okay, I wonder if that resets if I say town portal to, I don't know, Whitecap and back. Come on, recover. Recover, Clay. Town portal Freehaven, let's see. Did I forget where it was? No, I did not. It's somewhere around here. Yep.
Can you put marks on the map or something?
I think they added that ability in the later games, but not in this one. Let's see. No. I know for a fact that there is some kind of functionality like that in 8, and I think 8 didn't really do much new things, so it probably was in 7 also. And yeah, I cannot actually get the spell today, which sucks, but I guess we'll just have to town portal to the cheap town, go to the cheap temple, maybe donate a bit to cure my reputation a little, spend 50 whole gold coins out of our almost 300,000 to cure our insanity, then spend 1 gold for the room. Then, since I'm being a cheap ass, I'm going to buff around here. They have the gods, they have protection, our power. You're probably wondering, why do I buff in the cheap town? Because surely buffing doesn't come at a price per town, but there's a fountain that restores our magic points here, so even though it runs out very quickly, I still want its benefits for my guys. Especially for the healer, I guess, because he is the one who's gonna use the spell points. And I didn't even run out, look at that. Let's also max out our health, which reduced because the spells, or one of the spells, I think it was Day of the Gods, it increased our max HP, but it didn't actually bother giving us that HP. Okay, oh, and it's a fancy sky here in ill-infested waters. Cool, cool. I like it when the fancy skies appear in this game, because for some reason, I don't know if it was like that back when I was playing on like Windows 98, on the oldest computer imaginable, but since then, every time I play any of these games, the majority of the time the weather is like a perfectly one-color gray sky and fog, so that's kind of boring, even though it kind of gets a mood done for the game. I really prefer when these fancy skies appear. I don't know if it's a bug or something that happens. But let's go back into Castle Alamo.
If it's fancy, it's not a bug, it's a feature then.
Well, you'd think that the fancy things would appear more often if it was a feature. Okay, where did I go last time? Yeah, let's see, like at the start here, there's 3 directions to go, and they all promise like huge total directions that are very long to explore. Actually, I think that direction is pretty much explored. Let's see what's here. More useless window. Yeah, there's the tree that told us that thing. Let's see what's in here. Some fancy architecture, something there. I don't know what it is, but it looks interesting. At some point I'm gonna get there. Oh my god, this layout is going to be a bitch to figure out. And also I probably won't be able to fit it into one recording, but I'll try, because I have like 100 gigabytes gigabytes free. For some reason, I don't know, even though I installed like 5 Steam games lately. I guess I just removed even more before that. And actually buying some games on Steam helped because I was able to delete them. Because I wasn't going to play them, but I had to have them on my PC in order to not have to like find them on torrents again. But now that I'm slowly turning into... Wait a second. That felt good. Now that I'm slowly turning into a legitimate, legally pursued individual, I can afford having games on Steam.
Can you afford having legitimate copy of Windows?
I'm not going to even think about that. I also cannot afford having legitimate copies of 3D Studio Max, Adobe Photoshop, FL Studio, SoundForge, Vegas, or Unity, or anything really. Especially Unity. Oh my god, that fucking price. I wonder how much stuff like Photoshop and 3D Max and SoundForge actually costs. I had never even looked.
Well, Photoshop is something like really crazy, like tens of thousands rubles or something.
Fuck
Maybe
that.
even more.
I wonder if like people who make cheap ass like posters or adverts or whatever as a job like freelance today in Russia actually bought Photoshop. I don't think any of them actually bought Photoshop.
Well, they might use some free analogs, like what, GIMP or whatever it's called.
Yeah, possibly. But I think only like big companies are forced in any nature, in any way, to actually have legit copies of their software, because they can be kind of... I already went there and I decided no, but I still forgot. They can be like checked for that, but individual people, that doesn't happen.
Well, at this moment, at least, who knows what might happen. With all these anti-piracy laws and shit, who knows?
I really don't believe that anything is going to happen to my rights as a Russian person to own illegitimate copies of everything. Because if not Russia, then where? I remember when I get stuff on Root Tracker, I think when I got Unity, there was a mention of like, our friends in China got this or something, and we just got it from them, and so I'm uploading it right now, which was interesting. But
Wait, they do have internets in China?
apparently,
Oh
like
wait,
a
I'm
few
probably
people...
mixing it up with Korea or something.
Yeah, China probably has internet. Does it have internet in that mod that you're playing in Deus Ex?
Yeah, they probably do have internet.
It would be kind of funny in a cyberpunk setting if there was a country that still didn't have any of that technology. Okay, that's... Oh wow, that guy just did the stupidest laugh. But sadly you don't hear it. Something like that. But even worse. Yeah, I am not going to go there because for some reason this guy, Clay, if I remember correctly, gets fucking massacred. And I'm just going to go around once more. Let's see, I think we... Oh, this map isn't very pleasant. Yeah, I think we came from there. No! Oh, phew! How that happened, I don't know. Also, apparently I just randomly... I just kinda hit the button by accident and threw sparks, and some of the sparks fell down and hit someone. Okay, this... Why didn't I go here? Let's... I should pay more attention to my navigation, probably. Okay, there's one last, like, direction up here, which I'm going to look at, and then I'm gonna go in the previous one. There is a bit of money and a bit of studded leather of health. Let's take it. Until we run out of inventory space, why not carry it and sell it? Okay, let's go. Judging by the map, this direction is probably gonna come back to one of the places where we already... Whoa! This seems like the perfect corridor for a Benny Hill style chase scene, or the other style, which is what was the show with the Scooby-Doo? Yeah, you know where the I think it was
from
Scooby-Doo.
different they come and go out of various doors. That doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense. The logic of their movement.
Yeah, I think that was from Scooby-Doo actually, the style. But it's often set to the music from Benny Hill, so what the hell. And they do just kind of run out of these doors, these enemies. Like this. Still they have managed to have even worse pathfinding than Doom monsters. Because Doom monsters actually, well, the Doom monsters pathfinding, as far as I understand, it's like a happy accident all the time, because they are just kind of programmed to walk in random directions half the time instead of towards you, which causes them to navigate the non-linear maps pretty efficiently, I'd say. But these guys here, they just ran straight towards you most of the time, which results in them getting stuck on every corner, which I'm not complaining about, make no mistake. Also, that girl is still sliding. Let's see if she continues after. Yes, she does. Guess I'm getting a lot of money from this.
Yeah, like you need any more money than you have now.
You always need money. In this game, some stuff is really expensive, like the later spells. Actually, I think I have most of spells, and training becomes really expensive at later levels. Admittedly, I don't think I'm going to need much of that anymore. Oh no, don't tell me. Ah! Stop breaking my freaking rigs. Rigs? Yeah, big rigs! Rings, I meant to say. For some reason the electricity from these guys breaks my metal stuff. Okay, shared life. Too bad there is no infighting in this game. Okay, and I'm just in the worst position there. Ah, stop coming from all directions. I wonder if turn-based combat would work in Doom.
I don't know. This will be useful.
I wonder if it's
Well,
possible
if
to
you
make such a mod.
remember that game, what was it called? Enter the Doom RPG. There was turn-based Doom combat.
Enter the Doom? What?
Oh, you haven't seen that fan game made in RPG Maker or something like that?
No, I know that there are real official Doom RPGs for like the phones, and there is the Doom roguelike. Actually, yeah, Doom roguelike is probably
No,
the closest.
that was called Enter the Doom, and it was created by guys from IDDQD, and the guys from the IDDQD are actually characters in the game. And
That's
the story
dumb.
is like some crazy virus somehow put all of them inside of Doom or
That's
something.
really dumb. I'm glad I don't know about that.
No,
Well-
it was actually a pretty solid game
Uh,
for a JRPG like.
I wish that go through with the Russian community project thing, because the premise for that seemed interesting. But yeah, stuff that takes like forum members and puts them into levels is really dumb, and no one should do that.
Oh really? Nameless mod is like the best thing ever. The best mod I have ever seen for any game.
Well, I don't think it would get any worse without that kind of stuff.
Well, you know, it has a pretty special setting, kinda like Deep Town from Labyrinth of Mirrors books by Lukyanenko, and it wouldn't really work with random characters, I think.
I don't know. I don't feel like that story required the characters being actual like forum members instead of random people that are said to be maybe some members or something. I don't know. Like a virtual reality. Actually, even though it was openly stated to be like some form of virtual reality, I think virtual environment, it would still. Wow, this guy is really stuck. I still think that it will work as a pretty much a real setting. I don't remember things from Nameless mod which wouldn't work in a real world environment, except that it had some kind of really weird like government system or something, or politics stuff. Who's this guy? This motherfucker keeps shooting me. Twister. It's a twister! And it's dead. I'm also yes. Of course, air magic is going to work on air elementals. Antroid, you are a genius. For some reason, the drops from enemies increased from game to game, in the sense that in Might Magic 6 there's a lot of enemies that don't leave corpses, or leave corpses that don't give you any loot. But by Might Magic 8, even like the snakes have money on them. Which is kinda actually, I don't know. I know how I feel about that.
I don't know.
It's pleasant to get money from the lowest monsters, but I kinda liked in this game how it was like no, what's the name, like no nonsense attitude. It had that no, fuck you, rats aren't going to carry money on them because that's dumb.
Fixed.
Okay, fixed. Oh, there's a lot of stuff to fix.
Fixed.
Okay, I probably want to lure those guys one by one
Fixed.
after I sleep. Oh, there's one guy here which kept shooting me, I'd wager. Fuck you. And I probably cannot sleep at all. Let's... Okay, that's good. Let's cast another Lloyd's Beacon here, which totally worked for some reason, because I was under the impression that those kinds of spells like didn't work in dungeons, or at least when enemies were near.
So that beacon spell is like Mark in Morrowind?
Yes, but you can have 5 of them, and it expires over time. But when you're a master of water, like this intelligent looking guy here, it expires very, very slowly. So let's actually see. So, yeah, it has, well, this thing was probably ancient, it has 6 days remaining, but the one I just said has 84 days remaining, and I am fairly certain that I will not need it in 84 days. Okay, what was I going to do? Yes,
Can
I was
you
going to sleep.
renew these markers before they run out?
Well, sure, you just got to go there and set the marker again.
So there's kind of no point in making them expire.
Well, I guess if you set one and then totally forget about it forever, there is a point. Or it costs, I don't know, it costs mana, maybe. I don't know why they did that.
The magic of knowledge.
Charm, and blessed. I don't think it even changed. Okay. Assholes. I don't even know what makes this stuff change, because let's try saving our game and loading our game, because last time I went here it had that thing, but now it doesn't. What did I do different? I don't know. Maybe if a week passes it's gonna change. Okay, let's go to the cheap ass temple again. Or actually no, screw that. I think this temple in Freehaven might be also cheap, because we helped rebuild it as a part of a quest, promotion quest, I think, for the clerics. Let's see if it gives us a discount. No, it doesn't. But yes, who cares? We have a lot of money, and as I just noticed when I said about money the first time, we don't even have followers here, NPCs in these squares, which are like characters that take some money each time you find money, and they can provide services like a full heal once in a day or something. And before, when I played, I always used to have I think I used to have either 1 or 2 master healers, usually, because fully healing completely in a dungeon is very nice, but they take so much money from you that's not even funny. But maybe it is funny if I could remember the exact amount, but no. See, these enemies aren't really tough one-on-one. I think they know it.
When I see these red tornadoes, I just can't help but think that there's like guts and blood flying inside of it.
So it's like sentient creature which has legitimate organs inside, or what?
No, it's like that regular white tornadoes just killed somebody and
Ah,
completely what's the word I'm
gypped.
looking for? Yeah, exactly. Completely gypped the corpse, and now the remains just got sucked inside of it, and they're just flying around making it red.
Stellar Bow of Ice. Let's see if anyone needs it.
This will be
Sacred Spear of Infernos. No one needs spears. Ever. A lot of money. And another deck of fate. Let's see. It's probably... I could probably risk it. Let's try. Alright! He didn't even die. And... whoops! Hopefully that didn't disrupt the recording. No, it didn't. Okay, Stellar Bow of Ice.
So, with that deck of fate, is there any way of knowing what it does except from looking it up in the internet?
Well, there's always trial and error.
So, you're supposed to try to use it every freaking day and make like a graph showing what it does depending on time of the year. Holy
Yes.
shit, old games were amazing.
Yes. Actually, a lot of days don't really change anything. It's like the months. The months are, I think, they are pretty much the same. If you remember a thing in this game where you could visit shrines in certain months, and certain shrines give you like stat boosts, permanent stat boosts during the corresponding month. And I largely abandoned trying to do that because I couldn't remember. But I think the stat and the respective months are the same, so the relationship is the same. And those about that, the oracle not that oracle. I think in this game it's called like the seer, the guy who tells you pretty much what to do in order to progress the storyline or returns quest items that you managed to lose somewhere. He also tells you what the current month is month of. And the time of the month isn't really important, except each week, like the first week it's +1, then it's +2, +3, and +4 in the fourth week. And 2 days in each week it's death or turn to stone. So yeah, so people in general, when they play, they just kind of use that, and the character dies but gets some stat bonuses, and they just go, okay, fine, okay, nice. But I prefer to be informed at this point because I'm making a let's play. I think if I was playing for myself I would not bother looking it up and just wing it. Because really death isn't that significant in these games. There's apparently also some obscure mechanic about like aging. Yeah, these guys have age, and at like 75 their stats get decreased a little bit or something.
Is it actually possible to make them live up to 75?
I think, well, I'm not sure about 75 in this game, but I know that in these games, in the newer ones, relatively to from 1 to 5, they also have some like consequences from aging. I know that in the older games that did happen, and there was like a spell
There's nothing I can do.
that was like make people younger. There's probably a better way to say that, but like most of the time it totally failed and made them even older. And in these games, in the newer games, I don't think the spell is in this game. Yeah, I don't think it is. In 7 and 8 there's a spell called Divine Intervention in the Light School, which is just pretty much cure everything ever forever. Well, once.
Everybody knows that just teleports you to 9 Divines Temple. What are you talking about?
That's a lie. And I think a side effect of that spell is that the caster ages like 10 years. Okay, no. Also apparently in the older games where the number 75 came from, when I say that there's like health spa on a resort island, in one of the games at least. which you could visit to rejuvenate yourself. Just kind of dumb. I don't know. The older games were even less serious than these ones. They had all sorts of like, well, not really modern elements, but stuff like that. Like, why the fuck would that be a health spa in a fantasy game? It's the same with Ultima. Do you know the Ultima games?
Yeah, I've seen the LP of Ultima 7.
I think you'd find interesting a series of videos that I watched at some point. If you know the guy who's like the Spoonie experiment, have you heard of that guy?
No.
The Spoonie experiment. I don't know why it's experiment, but I think he's called like Spoonie. He did like a retrospective on the whole series of Ultima, and I found it very interesting to watch. I'm going to give you a link after we finish this thing. And apparently it's like, I don't know, it's a series of RPGs which is like the Might and Magic series but from the top-down perspective. But the similarity is that it was started by one guy who was like a big nerd of fantasy and RPGs and stuff like that. Oops. And he just programmed those games by himself because he was passionate about fantasy and about RPGs probably. What's this? Why is this here? It's bothering me.
So you're talking about Richard Garriott,
Yes.
aka Lord British, right?
Yes, that guy, and for the Might Magic series it's John Van Cunningham, or Cunningham, however he's pronounced. I think, yeah, Cunningham pretty much programmed the first games by himself. And so did British, if I remember correctly from the retrospective. Actually, that retrospective really put me in the mood for like the old style fantasy RPGs. And for a while I was really considering trying to make like a simple 2D, maybe top-down thing, and I was thinking of all the stories that I could probably use for such a game, and I always came up with the fact that came against, I guess, the fact that I can't really do the wacky kind of setting like Might and Magic, because as I said before, in Might and Magic games it's really weird how there's like all these mythological creatures like Medusas or Titans or Hydras. Like the Titans in 7, it's like the biggest thing for me, which comes to mind first. They have like fortress in one of the locations, and I don't think they're really seen anywhere beyond the fortress and one other place. And they appear to be sentient and like pretty much just giant humans with some kind of lightning power or something. But and all the races here, like Medusas, the Nagas, the Goblins, whatever. Why, if they are intelligent, why are they just always confined to one dungeon per continent? And why aren't some of them completely just eliminated? Or what the fuck, just generally, is going on with the monsters in these games? And when I'm thinking of like a fantasy setting, they always tend to get a bit more realistic. Like I don't include like elves and dwarves even. For the latest one I was trying to come up with, I wanted to make like maybe shorter humans and slightly taller humans and not explicit elves and dwarves. And the dungeons I couldn't really... I had a bit of a better luck with that when I was a kid and I was just kind of drawing maps for these kinds of games. But nowadays, if I'm trying to think of stuff like that, it always, I don't know, it appears just like it won't be as interesting as these games, just because I'm limited by trying to make it so everything makes sense and is realistic, like The Witcher. I don't know.
I think there's anything wrong with that, with realistic fantasy setting, so to speak. Well, I don't know, Gothic is kinda like that, right? If I'm not mistaken. I haven't actually played it, but it appears so. And it's kinda super popular.
Well, I'm more thinking of what I would like personally in a game, and I think if I were playing like Might and Magic, it would lose a lot without its epic scale and a lot of magical stuff. Like I am firmly opposed things like magical artifacts, like a sword of great power that someone's like looking for, and the sword is a big plot point, plot device. I really don't like stuff like that. Or things like elemental planes with elementals, like fire elementals and stuff, which also, judging from Might and Magic 8, they are sentient. If you remember, there was like, we rescued like the main elementals from a prison or something in the game, and that just seems really, really weird to me. But if these games were like The Witcher, I think they'd have a completely different feel, and I would like them less. I really, what I would really want to do if I ever got around to trying to make my own game in this style. First things first, I would really want to pretty much just replicate the mood that the games have, and then gameplay elements and other aspects that aren't as important to me. And I'm not sure if I would be able to actually do that, do the mood, because it depends so much on the kinds of things that I know I enjoy in other games, but I would never. It's like in Doom level design, where I like DTST, and I even kind of like the aspect of it that it's unpolished, so to speak. But when I'm making stuff, I really can't allow myself to consciously leave something like that in. And similarly with, like, in this case, with trying to come up with a fantasy setting, I really enjoy all these absurd things in these games, but I would never be able to like totally make up my own setting with that kind of element to it, which is kind of sad. But I don't know. I am thinking, like, I remember when I was a kid, I really was into drawing like maps and writing down the quests and dungeons and monsters, and I didn't limit myself like this back then, but I was pretty much just ripping off Might and Magic things, and my stories were really dumb. But I kinda remembered that excitement. I don't know what prompted it even. I don't know what made me all Might and Magic mood recently. I don't remember what happened. But I think I guess it started with that retrospective, which I'm going to link to you, of Ultimas, which just generally put me in the mood for old RPGs. And then I started thinking about various RPGs, and I realized that what I want to make most is a kind of Might and Magic like game. And I guess maybe that's why I'm recording right now. What was I even trying? Yes, I remembered some of the excitement of just coming up with a world and different locations and cities and countries and I don't know, just the style of terrain that they inhabit and stuff like that. The type of monsters, the general storyline, even though I'm just... I don't know, no one except you and a couple people knows the real storyline of my Doom VOD and the storyline of HSF. Not even you, I think, know at this point. But those two are kind of similar, and I find myself ripping myself off every time I think of a new storyline. It always involves some elements from those, which I'm not going to actually name, so as not to spoil anything. Well, maybe if I am vague about it, it involves like the idea of shaping the world with one's mind, because like the world lost its integrity or something, and like there is a mind, or maybe everyone can do it, or maybe like there is a big brain somewhere in a jar who is responsible for maintaining the world as it is. I don't know what started that trend in me, but that's all my stories always have that element now that I think. It's kind of cool. Maybe once I release the Doom VOD, I'll how to express this. I'll try my hand at actually like releasing actual things and getting feedback about this kind of story, and I won't be as excited to put these elements in every fucking story that I think of. Okay, let us do the usual.
So, any estimate on when it's actually gonna be finished? Your Doom VOD, I mean.
I don't think it's possible. I think there is periods where I very rapidly do a lot of work on it, and there is periods when I'm just disinterested in Doom in general, like right now. So I'm not sure I can even loosely try to pretend to know. I can say that I am like the 3 episodes out of 4 are almost done, even though the fourth is supposed to be like the longest.
Can we assist you?
But I still have a lot of enemies and the bosses to model and do, even though I started and I did a couple. I showed you one of them. I think that's like a sack of like floating sack that's tied up by ropes. I think I showed you that one, did I?
Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah, that thing. And I pretty much I haven't really rendered all of its animations yet, so I can't really say for sure that it looks okay in game. It doesn't clash with the style of other monsters, but I at least confirm that I am able to model and render convincing looking, not really dumb and amateurish looking monsters for Doom. So that's going to happen, I guess, maybe when I finish the actual levels and not more else is going to be left to do. I'm going to get around to that. I'm like slowly trying to model currently like an enemy that's it's like a burnt corpse of sorts, a skeleton almost. Oh, hello. I think I'm sitting on a couple of these women. Okay, let's thin out the crowd a little bit.